Hello, I'm so glad that you could join with me today. We're going to pull some cards for the collective and see what messages Spirit has to share with us. If you're looking for more personal readings, please feel free to reach out. More than happy to dig into some topics with you. We have some messages within the Princess of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. There is so much that we have overcome already. And there's this very strong message from Spirit that there is still work to do. Every cycle that we complete, we begin a new cycle of healing. You have unwrapped layer after layer after layer that has allowed you to dig deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind, to uncover your past, to reveal past lives, to explore the generational healing that is necessary for you to fulfill your highest purpose. We find that with taking some opportunity to sit back and observe the situations at hand, that we find areas that require some further affirmation. This is no small undertaking. This is a great deal of planning and preparation and work that has been done and will continue to need to be done for you to fully free yourself from the confines of these wounds, of these experiences that have wrapped away the real you. We've been hiding our true selves for so long that we don't necessarily know who that true self is. So this exploration happens in cycles. And it's often that we complete a cycle, and then when the cycle begins again, we become frustrated with the progress or feel that there is a lack of progress. That's just simply not the case. We're just digging deeper into these things. We know that there are areas that we are so skilled and we have so much ability and we have so much practice and areas that we can continue to share with others. And yet there are areas that we are just discovering about ourselves. There are qualities that we are just recognizing within ourselves. And sometimes we're in healing, we're not consistently linear. Sometimes we're going to find that we come back to an area and then we come back to that area again. And every time we come back to it, we feel as though we are reborn. Because as we leave that next cycle with that particular wound, we feel invigorated and ready to take on the next challenge. And then we experience another cycle. It may become frustrating at times, it's even exhausting at times, but these cards come up to remind us that we are doing such a tremendously good job of unraveling these wounds and dealing with the generational difficulties that have been passed on to us. We have changed the world just with our personal efforts. You have ended cycles that will no longer continue with your family. You have saved your offspring and the younger people in your family from suffering in the ways that you may have suffered, from suffering in the way that your parents suffered, from suffering in the ways that your grandparents suffered. So while we experience these cycles, this is a time for us to feel more lighthearted about our progress. Let's celebrate these opportunities that we have to continue to push forward. Let's celebrate how we get closer and closer to our true nature, which is love, with every wound that we address. While there has been a great deal of pain, we know that in the future we can eliminate so much of that pain for the people that come after us. Our ancestors are cheering us on. You are so good at putting things together and making sense of things and sharing this love and nurturing and healing with other individuals. You don't nearly give yourself enough credit, but it's time for you to stretch, relax, take some moments to celebrate yourself, take some moments to Celebrate your accomplishments and how much you've done already. Allow yourself to feel as though you are a constantly regenerating force, that it is okay for you to take that time to rejuvenate yourself and your spirit because you've already done so much and there's so much more that you're going to be able to accomplish. You're just unstoppable in this nature. You're unstoppable in your as a healing force. You're doing such a phenomenally good job. It is okay to just celebrate for a moment, to take some time with your friends and the people that you love, and just be who you are. Allow yourself to just take in the changes that have occurred already, to celebrate who you are and how much you've done, to celebrate this new version of yourself. It doesn't have to always be delving into the darkest recesses of humanity. Sometimes we need to celebrate the most beautiful aspects, the most natural healing aspects, spending some time in nature, admiring nature, and seeing the beauty that's all around us. We pulled today the abundance and flexibility. With abundance, we want to recognize that the universe is going to share with us multiple opportunities, multiple streams of abundance in different forms of abundance. We cannot hold too tightly to this idea that if we are, I feel like we're experiencing some frustration with a particular um, means of survival that is just, you can't do something about it right now. You don't feel like there is an out. You can't say what you want to say. You can't do what you want to do because you're in the middle of this transition period from one area to the next level. And there's a lot of changes that are taking place that you are not necessarily aware of. With abundance, we need to understand that the universe is providing it in ways that are sometimes beyond our understanding. There are situations occurring that we are not privy to at this time. But if we continue to trust and believe and we continue to hold this positive outlook, taking some deep breaths, everything is working out better than I could anticipate, happening faster than I even expected. So much more is happening for me. I need to take stock in the things that feel really, really good. We don't want to spend time dwelling on areas where we're feeling a lack, because as we do that, we inhibit the areas of growth with that energy. So, this flexibility is asking us to pursue other endeavors right now, to explore the possibility of other streams of abundance. Do you need resources? How can we get those resources in other ways? Is the resource that you're lacking material? Or is the resource that you're lacking time and attention? Is the resource that you're lacking being heard? So instead of finding ways to concentrate on just one area of abundance, let's look at these other aspects of abundance in our life. Are we loved? Are we safe and secure? Are we heard? Do we have access to communicate with the people that we need to be able to communicate? Are we able to secure ourselves in other ways? Feeling connected, feeling more certain about all of these other areas opens up a lot of opportunity for us. So I'm feeling with this card, as we focus on these other areas, we're going to see the area where we feel constricted start to open up into even greater streams of abundance, simply because we've allowed that energy to move and we've been willing to adapt to the ebb and flow of things. We find that flexibility is most helpful in the sense of considering other opportunities and options And while we're over here considering these other opportunities and options, what we may find is that the universe has just opened up this path for us in the ways that we need it to, but even better than we expected. We don't want to hold these rigid ideas of what it must look like. I must receive this stream of income from this particular area when there may be a combined effort that could be even better than you expected. There may be another opportunity waiting because you were so focused on just this one area, you didn't necessarily see this other opportunity pass you by. So we want to allow the universe to share abundance with us in all aspects, including opportunity, an abundance of opportunity. So this way that we feel more abundant, the universe responds in kind with that and makes sure that we feel that way in all areas. We're feeling a lot more tense and stressed as we get into this next cycle, and the universe is asking us to take some deep breaths, to relax, to allow things to flow. We don't need to hold too tightly, too rigid. It will provide in all the ways that it needs to provide for you. Spirit always provides for you. It has always worked out for you. In fact, not only has things always worked out for you, but they work out for you better than you expected. Because that is the nature of the universe. We have both the weight of the world, boundaries, let it go, it's not yours to carry, and the canary singing your own song. I'm feeling with this group that we have individuals who have taken the energy that others are pushing onto them and started to weigh on them. They started to worry about the problems that other individuals have and how they might solve these problems for them. The universe has never asked for you to carry the burdens of others. The burdens that you yourself carry were heavy enough. The work that you do is enough. The opportunities that are presented to you are your opportunities, and they are not uh, for others. You don't have to share that opportunity with others, especially when we have to recognize that others have placed themselves in these paths to learn their personal lessons. And if you're doing the work to learn your lesson, you can't sit and put any time or energy into what these other people are experiencing because these are the things that they themselves need to address. So I'm getting from spirit that you were provided some beautiful opportunities, some resources, some generosity, some kindness, some wonderful thing has come into your life, and you feel a little bit guilty and shameful about it. That you feel like because other people that have been in your path that you experience life with, that you love and care for deeply, are not having these wonderful experiences, that you don't necessarily want to celebrate yourself. This canary spirit is saying that we are our own little songbirds. You don't want you don't need other people to celebrate you. You need to sing your song. You need to sing your praises. You need to celebrate who you are and what you've accomplished. We can love and honor and respect others on their journey without taking on the burden of guilt or shame for our own opportunities, because I highly doubt they were taking on these heavy loads when you were struggling. They were personally addressing their own lives then too. They weren't necessarily singing your song, and they're not going to sing the same tune that you would sing. So, Spirit is asking us to release these expectations that we have to be for anyone else but ourselves. Spirit is asking us to focus on the beautiful things that we ourselves have created in our lives, that we have manifested in our lives in the way that we did that work. Your song is beautiful. Your song is perfect in the way it is. And when you sing your song, you inspire others to start exploring what their song may sound like. Now, maybe their song at first sounds a little bit like yours, but eventually they'll start to uncover tunes that you didn't even know existed. And you'll be further inspired, and you'll be singing your song, and they'll be singing their song, and together you'll hear the most beautiful music. These individuals that have not taken responsibility for their own situation, they are projecting their feelings onto you. It's causing you to feel as though your song doesn't deserve to be sung as loudly, but it does. There's nothing that they can take away from what you've done by their failure to address their own issues. These are the things that they need to address. We need to spread our wings. We need to get out there. We need to do the things that make us happy. And as much as we want to take all of them with us, all we can hope is that they will soon find their own voice and join us in song. And in the meantime, you need to enjoy the music that you're making. You need to enjoy the music that others are making. Celebrate who you uniquely are and the work that you personally have done in this world. Thank you so much for joining with me today. Thank you for being on this journey.